favour of Halifax, leading by 24 points to 6 at the break. And the Sheffield Eagles have got some work to do if they're to keep alive their dream of going all the way from 6th place to that grand final. And it's Robert Hicks getting us underway. And a little scudding restart, which Jamie Cottle plucks out of the air. And here's Sostak. Let's go straight down to the sidelines, get some half-time news from Rod Studd.
Well, Matt Calland a lot happier than he was this time last week, Bill, if you remember when they were struggling at Featherstone, but this week very happy. Only 2 penalties conceded, good ball control, good kicking game, more of the same. A pretty simple team talk from Matt Calland. And Mark Aston saying what Barry was saying at half-time, they need to start playing with the ball in hand and taking a few chances. Mark Aston saying that they've kicked a little bit too early in the tackle count, getting a few hints from Barry's boss, Gary Hetherington, there by the look of it too, the Leeds Rhinos chief executive. But he wants to see them seeing a little bit more football and defending their goal line a lot more strongly.
Here's Jack Howison. There is Matt Calland up on the high on the gantry in the new stand here, as Brown hoists that kick deep downfield, but Royston time underneath it. Menzieri overshot him. Sostak it is who comes back to make the tackle.
So cool under pressure, Shad Royston. There's only one thing on his mind as soon as he catches that ball: attack, attack, attack.
2, move, go.
So Halifax, first touch of the ball in this second half. Here is Barlow, already got the satisfaction of a try against his former club. And Maloney. That's good defence on the halfway line from Howison and Alex Rowe. Stopping Maloney in his tracks. Michaeli Izu onto Holroyd. Holroyd's pass goes wobbling forwards. Well, the referee has said play on. How on earth is that? Well, Patterson is playing on, and he'll get the try, will he?
It's either a try or a touchdown.
That was a mile forward.
Can you just check to see if there's a knock on before he kicks the ball back there, please?
Well, I don't think there was a knock-on.
Yeah,
there was an offload from Michaeli Izu to Graham Elroyd, who seemed to throw the ball about 10 metres forward.
Well, Lee Patterson, to his credit, just kept going. It was just spun in the air. Referee's video ref, Stuart Cummins, is having a look at that. And Patterson is touching it down, and the try is awarded. The ball, well, in the view of the video ref, was travelling backwards. Don't tell me it's the dreaded momentum rule.
Well, Patterson doing the right thing and playing to the whistle. And Michaeli Izu throws this pass, there's nothing wrong with that. Graham Holroyd throws that pass.
And it goes forward.
And it drifts forward. And it's a touchdown to Halifax. Well, I'm lost for words, Bill.
I'm still trying to quite fathom that one.
Well, the video referee saying initially the ball's gone backwards before it's gone forward.
But then it went forward, surely.
How will Sheffield control their emotions now that's gone against them?
It's Lee Patterson's try. He's kicked 4 from 4 so far. And Halifax have got the perfect start to the second half. The Sheffield Eagles feeling hard done by, but the ball started off travelling backwards.
Well, Michaeli Izu getting rid of this ball. I'm not sure Graham Holroyd was expecting that, but the ball seemed to go backwards then and then goes forward. That's what the video referee said. You can see quite clearly the...
But let's get this straight, Tez. The video referee can't judge a forward pass. He was asked whether there was a knock-on, and he has to say no to that.
But a touch judge can say that ball went forward.
Well, straight away I was looking at the touch judges, and they were stood right on the back line saying no problem.
Well, Halifax now completely in control of this game, 30 points to 6. And those Halifax supporters can think about another tilt at the grand final, surely. And getting one over on Featherstone Rovers, which on the evidence of last week's match between these two is going to take some doing. Darryl Powell's men looking as though they're very hard to stop. Cottle plucks that ball out of the air very coolly indeed.
Terrific take from the youngster. He was tested in the first half. They were high, they were low, they were all over the place for him. He'll just be glad to catch that, secure that ball, and Sheffield will be glad for some possession.
Here is Danny Mills. But we said it at half-time, the Halifax defence isn't invulnerable. If Sheffield Eagles are willing to chance their arm, they could cause them problems, but they're going to have to give the ball a bit of width.
Well, Sheffield need to give the ball to the players that cause them opposition problems. The likes of Menzieri, the likes of Tanguy, the big men in the middle of the park. Mitch Stringer needs to lead by example.
Brown hoists another one. That is going way up into the night sky, but very well taken by Royston, or is it? Rowe has followed the ball up and claimed the try. Royston lost the ball as he hit the deck, and Alex Rowe was there to claim the try, he thinks. Another call for the video ref.
Well, I think this is a try. Shad Royston catches it. Alex Rowe knocks it out of his grasp. Well then, is that a knock-on? I don't think there's any problem with the grounding.
Or is there?
Yeah, I'm having a shock of me, Bill. I might just go outside and have a word with myself.
I don't.
Oh, he's got.
He gets the ball down.
You're right, Barry.
But does he knock it out?
Does he intentionally knock the ball out of Shad Royston's hands?
I'd say no, but
have a look where he's looking here.
Still in the air.
No. Nope.
And he's not looking at the ball.
He's not looking at the ball, so therefore he's not making a play to knock the ball out of Shad Royston's hand.
He misses it on the second attempt with his left hand. You see that his head's looking left, so he's not looking at the ball. He hits the ball, there's no doubt about that. I think this is a meat pie to Sheffield.
It could come at a crucial time for them. Has Alex Rowe got this ball down, though? Warrensey is in his way. Now then, did Rob Warrensey just do enough there to deny a former colleague? I think there might have been former colleagues in their Broncos academy days.
Well, it looks as he spins over here. Oof. Warrensey's knee is right on the white line. You can see it there. You've got to say, looking at that.
Robert Hicks very patiently waiting for the decision, and it is that is an Eagles try, and Alex Rowe has given them potentially a lifeline. Mark Aston wondering why on earth it took so long to make that decision, but well scrutinised by the video ref. Brown quickly converts, and it's 30 points to 12.
Well, is this the start of the momentum from Sheffield?
Well, Alex Rowe got a crucial try in the game against Barrow last week, and he could be in with another crucial try here.
Well, Simon Brown does a Graham Holroyd on this game, puts the ball in the air, allows one of his teammates to contest it, and Alex Rowe. Go on then, Tez, what's that one?
I think there should be a booklet of all these celebrations. Somebody could clean up on that, couldn't they?
I think that might be something to do with a baby.
Henderson now. Well, I was going to say that Halifax have been known to ship points, although they are tough to beat on their own grounds.
Ball.
They've lost only twice in the championship this season, to Lee and to Featherstone, but they also lost at home to Hunslet as Henderson goes off on a run. He plays the ball. Here is Alex Rowe, the try scorer. Rowe taken high by Michaeli Izu.
Well, that's 6 more tackles to Sheffield. They won't bother how many high tackles are given away.
Well, this is exactly how Sheffield suffered in the first half, conceding penalties. That end of the field as well. Lindsay, Cottle, but Cottle runs into some good defence there.
2 feet, go.
Dylan Nash with the tackle. Here is Menzieri. Yeri, he could be in for a second, is he?
Tackle 2.
Now that is a good play by Alex Rose. You can see Dave Larder saying to his teammates that you've got to talk in defence. Don't just stand there. all good teams, good defensive teams communicate.
It's Rowe again. This time he's short. I'm short.
I was just going to say, I'm going off his reaction. He got up a little bit ginger when he was getting up. He didn't have that much conviction.
He hasn't got the ball, has he?
He's got the ball. He's just got the goal post, the goal pad. He's got the lot. I think that's play on.
He's got Shad Royston under there as well, I think.
But that was a big effort from Alex Rowe.
Yeah.
He may not have scored this try, but he's offered himself to one of his teammates.
Time back on. No try. He's short the line. It's 3 here. Wait for me.
He is just
Okay, go.
inches short there, Alex Rowe, from back-to-back tries, but the tackle count continues for the Eagles.
4. Move.
Joe Hurst,
Get up.
4 tackles
Play it,
gone. Henderson. And again, the Halifax defence does just enough.
Go.
On the last now. And Lindsay, crossfield kick. Looking this time for Mills, but instead finding Warranty, and Warranty is away. Warranty is away. He's gone. Rob Warranty is gone. Bye-bye, he says. He enjoyed that. One end of the field to the other. And that surely settles the issue here now. Sheffield hammering on the door at one end. The crossfield kick, and this time it was a Halifax player on the end of it. It was that man, Rob Warranty, to get his 24th try in a highly productive season.
Well, the last person that Sheffield wanted this ball to go into the hands of with an open field is Rob Warranty. Almost Martin of Fire-like in his run. He has all the pitch to go. I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about taunting the opposition. Just get the ball down. Rob Warranty, such an exciting player, playing paper, scissors, rock.
This is getting ridiculous. I told you, a try celebrations handbook. Yes, what's wrong with a good old shake of the hand and a pat on the back?
Rob Warranty has electric pace. And Matt Callan, can he breathe easy? Or is his Jekyll and Hyde side about to put him through another potential heart attack?
Well, Patterson, with his goal-kicking form, is hoping to add 2 more points. 5 from 5, bang in front of the posts. 100% record from him, 36-12. Well, can Sheffield respond to that? They thought they'd got over again. Alex Rowe denied, though. And this is what happened.
Well, Danny Mills gets this totally wrong. He runs past the ball, doesn't give himself. You've got a challenge for that ball, and when that man gets the ball, there is only going to be one winner, and that's Rob Warranty. Fantastic running style. There's nobody going to catch the big man.
So Halifax in control of this game now, by the look of things. Warranty, their latest try scorer, once a Greenwich Admiral, now a big favourite with these Halifax supporters for try-scoring prowess like that. Here is Neil Cherryholm. Well, if there are 1 or 2 Halifax players carrying injury, being in this position is going to ease the pain. Bob Bezic, certainly one of them. Holroyd, and they could be prepared to turn it on here, Halifax now. Paul White trying to get on the outside. Tackled by Tanguy Rapati. Holroyd steps back to make room for the kick and finds the fullback Jamie Cottle, but Cottle hammered by Bannister, making the tackle there. Support from Barlow.
Nowhere for Cottle to go then. And again, look at the enthusiastic chase. 4 men in the tackle. That means when they peel off, it's going to be a slow play of the ball. Again, getting up on speed on the big man Menzieri.
Here's Howison. Well, if you were watching Boots and All on Wednesday night, you'll have seen the Sheffield Eagles Greyhound come to an unfortunate end in its race at Owlerton Stadium when it was taken out by an opposition dog off the ball. And it looks as though these Sheffield Eagles are going to go the same way as their Greyhound. Back to the kennels.
Alex Rowe's made a big difference, Bill. Sorry He's come onto the pitch, he's ran hard, he's left players in his wake. And I think that Halifax maybe sense and sniff blood in the water here tonight. It can go one of two ways. Sheffield can come back and make a fight of it, or Halifax can start having fun and run away with it.
Well, they're battling determinedly, Sheffield, to try and staunch the flow. Mitch Stringer all over Paul White there. Sostak up in the face of Dave Wrench, another player who's hanging the boots up at the end of the season. Hoping that it'll be after a grand final success. Cherryholm plays the ball. Holroyd launches the kick. Is his career going to end with a grand final appearance? It rather looks like it. The ball patted back. Menzieri is there. Dylan Nash trying to wrestle it off him.
Well, that tactic from Graham Holroyd proving very fruitful. Nobody on this Sheffield side has any confidence catching those bombs.
Cook. Here is Alex Rowe now. Rowe gets the ball away. Little grubber kick goes through, but Brown wasn't on the same wavelength as anybody else there and turns possession over on his own 40-metre line with that kick.
I'm not sure about little grubber kick when you're under pressure, 35 yards from your line. We've given him a big rap, Simon Brown, for his kicking game, but that was the incorrect play there.
Come on,
They need to try things, Tez. I'm not sure, I'm with you. I'm not sure that was the right option, but they need to try something. They need to make some questions and give some questions to Halifax. Otherwise, as I said, they'll run away with this game.
Another chip kick. Menzieri has made a hash of that. Went backwards, says the referee.
But now they've still got a tough job getting this ball forward. Menzieri goes down for this ball. He was facing his own try line.
What was the difference between that and Frank Bottini's knock-on?
That went backwards.
Spot on. Should be a penalty there for Sheffield, as Mitch Stringer makes his feelings known to the referee. Bannister all over him.
Who else is putting their hand up with Alex Rowe? He's leading from the front, taking the ball forward. He's offering himself to his teammates.
Oh, Brown's put that one down. They're playing on. Rapati out there thinks that play will continue, but he's going to bring him back for the turnover.
Well, Simon Brown, was he preempting the play? Was he having a little look up where he was going to try and place that ball with a kick before he even catches it? You can just see he has a little glance up. Where's the Halifax defence? Where am I going to place this ball? Can they defend now? Another set of 6?
I don't think so, Tez.
It's going to be very difficult for them. So many Halifax players now starting to point at players, pushing forward in support.
That's the thing, they're starting to flood through now. So many options for Ben Black.
Bannister is one of them, and Bannister almost through. Back comes Stringer to make the tackle. Sostak in there as well. Must have got a whack there. Black's put that one down. Referee says, let's see what happened to the ball. It goes dead.
Referee saying that ball was kicked dead. 20-metre restart. What have Sheffield got?
Lindsay in supports. On to Menzieri. There is Brendan Lindsay. Well, it looks as though this will be his final game for the Sheffield Eagles after 5 years with the club. He only came for 1 year from rugby league in Queensland. 5 years later, he's making his final appearance. He's going back to rejoin the Ipswich Jets. He'll be playing under the former Leeds man Ben Walker, who's taken over at the Jets from Glenn Lazarus, who's just left the club. So his career continuing for one or two others.
Glenn Lazarus had the nickname the Brick with Eyes, Bill. Fantastic player in his day. I think Sheffield would wish that the Brick with Eyes was playing for them tonight.
Because they are on the back foot again. They've really have been since about the half-hour mark. 25-minute mark, probably. Here is Bannister, and Bannister again scenting a try, but instead giving it to Royston, and Royston in for yet another try for him. And Stephen Bannister carving a great hole in the Sheffield defence there. All smiles, well, some smiles among the Halifax coaches. 30 for the season for Shad Royston. He loves scoring tries against the Eagles. He's got 2 hat-tricks against them in the last 3 years. He got 2 tries in a playoff tie 3 years ago. He's on the score sheet this evening.
Well, the piece of skill that sets this up, I've seen Catalan, I've seen Huddersfield use that play, and Stephen Bannister has lovely footwork. Bob Bezic jumps out, Stephen Bannister, nice right foot step, unselfishly lays it to Shad Royston, who's done tonight as he's done all season, trailing up that middle track, feeding off the scraps. And they know, they realise now, tonight is their night. They can think about next week.
Royston got a hat-trick in the 32-26 win here against the Eagles at the end of February. The 7th different try scorer for Halifax so far this evening. And Patterson, another surely formality for him. The points ratcheting up for Lee Patterson, as they are for Halifax now. 42 points to 12. They are leading, and Mark Aston's dreams of going from 6th place in the table to a grand final place against his former club and his former colleague Darryl Powell are in tatters. Matt Callan can certainly plan for that now. And Robert Hicks has just poured great doses of salt in the Sheffield Eagles' wounds.
Oh, they've not held themselves. Robert Hicks saying that they're offside from the kickoff. And again, they've got to defend 20 yards out from their line. And the way Halifax are playing, you think they're going to score another couple of tries before this game's finished.
Well, they're pretty high-scoring games generally between these two, certainly have been recently. And this time the point scoring is mainly in favour of Halifax. Bezic, well, if he is carrying an injury, he's coping very well with it. Ankle problem it was, well, it might still be. Here is Patterson. Frustration growing, I think, in the Eagles camp. Probably feeling they've not done themselves justice here tonight. Battling performances at Barrow and Lee in the playoffs, but nowhere near the performance that they'd hoped for here this evening.
Play on.
They come looking for it Menzieri then.
Wrench just keeps a hold of it. On the last, Dylan Nash has lost the ball, picked up by Danny Mills, but he doesn't get very far.
Well, that was good play by Danny Mills under pressure to get down and gather that ball.
Warrency's down. Warrency, looks like he may have picked an injury up.
Touch judge is on for something that happened in that tackle. Somebody reacted to something. So, just an explanation whether there was a hand in there.
Okay, you're going to get the report. Come here, Pat.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with there, or has he hit Warranty in the face?
Well, it was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other by the look of things. Brendan Lindsay as captain called over.
Okay. Penalty there.
There's a hand in the face.
The penalty's there.
Against Danny Mills. Penalty conceded. He felt he was on the receiving end of the same sort of treatment. Going from bad to worse for this Sheffield side.
Well, the touch judge saying that he's ripped his face.
Yeah.
No, he's right.
Yeah.
It's Sam Barlow, the man who's landing on the top. It's not Warranty, the man who's underneath the tackle.
But I'm with you. It was 6 and 2 threes, Bill. I think the frustration.
You had to work that out then, didn't you?
That's why the mic went down. I was on my fingers. 6 and 4 threes.
Well, the officials missed that one, but they didn't miss that. Knock on by Halifax.
Well, Halifax now trying to play a bit too expansive. They know that they're well in front on the scoreboard. 30 points. Dave Laddie just can't take that ball in. Makes the mistake.
Tight heads, ball in. Time back on.
Well, we know now with 20 minutes to go, Sheffield are going to throw the ball around. They've got nothing to lose whatsoever. The season's finished in 30 minutes. Good defence by Sam Barlow.
Barlow has really enjoyed this. Remember, he went into this game under a cloud. There was dispute over his eligibility to play, with the Sheffield Eagles saying that they had a clause that prevented him from playing against his former club. Whether that has been fully resolved, we'll probably find out in the next few days. Probably Sheffield Eagles will take the view that it's not worth pursuing now. But Sam Barlow under a bit of pressure going into this game, and he's answered it really well with a very strong performance and a try. Penalty against Halifax. Markers not square.
Well, Menzieri have been relatively quiet in this game. Sure, the Sheffield players have given the ball good field position.
There's a lot of history and a lot of things going on. But you've had a penalty down there, and ever since then, well, look at me when I'm talking to you. Every time since then, you've been involved in things. You calm yourself down, all right, we'll deal with you in another way.
Robert Hicks just basically telling Sam Barlow to cool down.
Well, he can't blow his top. He's got to remember he's got to still keep playing.
He's got a final to play for, Tez.
Exactly. He's been sent off once this season already. OK, that was for the scrap against Widnes. As Menzieri goes close for the Eagles, but the last thing Halifax need with their injury problems, because Gleeson, remember, is out. Goddard is out. Saeed Tamgart, another absentee. They can't afford to lose any more players. Here comes Tanguy Rapati for the Eagles. James Haley, another absentee for this Halifax side. Bergen has knocked that up. He says he picked it up.
I don't think he touched the floor. I'd like to see that again. Tim Bergen picks it up from dummy half. Definitely a bobble. The referee just obstruct. I didn't think he'd dropped it on when I first watched it. We'll have a look at this one. Am I right? Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, now
as if in some sort of justice, knock on from Halifax at the scrum, and Sheffield will get head and feed, I think.
Yep, well, now Halifax made the mistake. The ball goes in, no problem. You see Simon Brown comes around the back of the scrum and just does enough to obstruct or pull the ball away from Graham Holroyd.
Jamie Cottle tackled. He'll be back at his studies at Sheffield Hallam University after this. Tales to tell of his appearance in a playoff decider. Unfortunately for him, not on the winning side, not unless there is an almighty upset in the closing stages here.
That was a good shot, that by Frank Watine on Ryan Hepworth. Come on to a short lead, but Frank Watine was there.
Cook. Here is Henderson. Oh, Henderson almost slipping the clutches. But Larder just doing enough to deny the Scottish international. They keep it alive, but Tanguy Rapati can't get the ball down. Good defence from Halifax. The sort of defensive commitment they're going to need to show in a grand final.
Well, these are good signs for Halifax. Even with the game relatively gone, they're still line proud. And the commitment that they're showing means that they want to put their place in that final next week. They want to be in the 17 that goes to Warrington and tries to get the win in the grand final.
Sheffield's season hasn't lived up really to the heights they hit last year when they came in third, but didn't have such a good run in the playoffs from sixth, and they only just squeezed into sixth with that win at Lee. They've made the most of it up until now. Mills trying to go around Warrensey, does so, but Nash gets a hold of him. No, he doesn't, and he's just ankle tapped in the end by Bob Bezic.
Well, good second effort from Danny Mills. Bob Bezic going for the 40-20. I think Menzieri in the last 10 minutes has touched the ball more in this game.
Here's Cottle now. Cottle on his own up the middle of the field. No support.
Move! 10 metres, Dave. Go.
And plenty of tackles for the Eagles to play with. Cook on for Exton. Exton out wide for Bergen, and Bergen can't take the pass. And it's that sort of night for the Sheffield Eagles. Things that were working for them in the previous few games, just not coming off this evening.
And in the previous few games, when they have played, they've played through the opposition, not around the opposition. Even when they've gone to the edges with Menzieri or with Tanguy Rapati, they've still tried to bust them on the edges instead of trying to play around them.
But in the last 5 minutes, Tez, I have to say, I've seen an attitude to defence from Halifax that we certainly haven't seen many times on Sky. They're good signs if you're a Halifax fan.
Que sera, whatever will be, we're going to Warrington. Well, it might not have the same ring, but it's quite a landmark for Halifax, and they've got the opportunity to make amends for last season's grand final defeat when they lost to the Barrow Raiders. But they'll be up against a Featherstone side that really does look really primed for a grand final appearance. Of course, the league leaders at the end of the season as Hepworth goes off for more treatment.
You've got to go off, mate. You've got to go off.
Referee Hicks just telling him he's got to leave the field to get that sorted out, so the Eagles not bringing anybody on in his place, and Holroyd will ship the kick across the field, just a bit square in fact, along the halfway line, and Patterson comes back almost to where the kick was made from. And that's the 5th tackle.
Wait. Go.
Holroyd again in position to put the kick in, but that's way too deep. And again, Mills not wanting anything to do with it, gets there belatedly. But would it be fair to say this is probably not how to deal with an opposition kicking game?
Well, with Graham Holroyd, one thing that you must do is put pressure on him when he's kicking the ball. You can't stand back and let him place the ball wherever he wants to.
He's had an excellent game tonight, Graham Holroyd. His kicks have been absolutely spot on, and Danny Mills, the rest of his Sheffield teammates, just have not had an answer.
Easy to say from up here in the commentary box. You're not down there on the Shea pitch underneath the floodlights as the chip kick. Will it sit up for Menzieri? It'll sit up for Warranty. Well, Warranty didn't really have to battle for that. I think Menzieri probably lost the ball, disappeared over his shoulder.
I'm not sure whether Menzieri thought Danny Mills was coming up behind him to make a play for this ball. You can see that he pulls out of it.
Unless was he called offside by the referee?
So Halifax again looking to get it wide. Rapati going for the interception, knocks it on.
Yeah, come down.
Well, Rapati knowing that the shorter numbers on that right-hand side. Graham Holroyd going for the big play. They had to touch that Tanguy Rapati, otherwise it was 2-on-1 on that left side. And you feared it would have been another try.
You need a loose, hang on. Ball in.
Halifax head and feet just inside their own half. This is a good response from a side that was beaten 46-16 last week in the qualifying semi-final. Royston can't keep a hold of that ball, and it's picked up by Brendan Lindsay. Dylan Nash battling for the ball.
And that's the sign of a champion side. Is this a penalty? Yes, it is. Dylan Nash giving the penalty away, stripping the ball from Brendan Lindsay. We're saying about a good reaction from a side that gets beaten. That's what you want from your top players when it goes against you. I think Brendan Lindsay just may have released that ball.
There is Ryan Hepworth in possession. Hepworth now wearing number 10, which says Stringer on the back. But that's Ryan Hepworth, the former Royal Marine, playing the ball.
You knocked him back.
That was a good line by Mickey Haley. I hope Mitch Stringer's not coming back on like that.
Making the supreme sacrifice of his shirt. That ball goes to ground, and Hurst hobbles away, and Holroyd picks it up.
They've got to keep trying things. They've got to keep throwing different options, different foil plays. They just can't break down Halifax. I've been so impressed with them defensively tonight.
I think Halifax have been very good today because all the teammates must have got together. They've got together as a team and they know what each other's strengths are, but also they broke down what Sheffield's defensive weaknesses are.
Matt Callan's delighted, just hoping that this side gets through the last 10 minutes or so here without any more injury problems, because looking at it, this would seem to be just about all he's got to play with. Holroyd's kick finds touch under pressure. Brannigan would be a contender.
Well, it's been a massive game for Halifax today, and we don't know, sat up here, how many of these players have gone onto the park and needing injections. We talked about Shad Royston last week, Bob Bezic, Graham Holroyd. He has been a leader tonight for this Halifax side.
Mikhail Ezu, let's not forget that clash of heads, or his head and Wellham's teeth collided, and Mickey Haley's got blood on him now. It's a blood fest.
Just get in with 5.
To be fair, I think you were right the first time when you said clash of heads.
Time back
Because
up.
his teeth are in his head.
Here is Lindsay now.
1.
Well, maybe Brendan Lindsay should have
Go.
seen the omens when he had a bet on Sheffield Eagles at Owlerton on Tuesday night.
2.
And it came in 5th.
Right, McKaylee. Go.
Lindsay, here is Menzieri. I think he was a loser as well.
Ball.
Good offload to Sostak, though. Sostak keeping it alive. The ball is still alive, but it's alive in the hands of Halifax. Flung back in field, and Sam Barlow felt that.
Well, that shows how dangerous Sheffield can be when they're coming off the back of decent quick play of the balls.
Oh, that's a shame.
There you see Lindsay just throwing the ball back inside, trying to find Menzieri.
Mikhail Ezu's been penalised. He came through the tackle, felt as if he hadn't been controlled and had the right to get back up. Unfortunately, I think his repartee still has hold of him. And he gives possession away. Another chance for Sheffield to go away with something.
Alex Rowe. Rowe puts the ball down, and that sums things up, really, for this Sheffield side, certainly in the second half. Frustration for Rowe. Could have had, well, he had 1 try tonight, he could have had 2.
Well, they look a tired side now, Sheffield. There's not much in the defensive departments between both teams, but it's worse. Sheffield have had to defend. More options running at them.
Get in. Ball in. Out.
Here's Lee Patterson.
Move. Go.
So into the last 10 minutes. Bezic.
Stand up.
Halifax
Go.
heading for the grand final now. Cherry home, but Rowe, well, Alex Rowe was obviously thinking, well, if this is my last game of the season, I might as well make the most of it, because he really has given his all out there on the field.
Said you can't hold back. You've got a big pre-season in front of you. Running up hills, doing all the extra work to prepare for the season. 9 minutes to go.
5th tackle as Cherry home plays the ball. Black. Dylan Nash. Nash to Warrensey, just a bit behind the winger, who scored a sensational try here this evening. Warrensey fancies a bit more trickery, but the ball into the hands of Menzieri.
Dylan Nash trying to drag Menzieri to the sideline. And Sheffield haven't given up.
Hold. Wait, Menzi. Go.
Just void of ideas. They can't make any inroads.
It's a good offload from Alex Rowe to Hepworth. Plays the ball on the 40-metre line. The Eagles at least looking to end this game on a positive note, maybe get some more points on the board. Henderson. Back inside to Danny Mills, but Mills, under pressure, gets the ball away. It's gone forward, says the referee.
But it was good defence from Halifax. Danny Mills never had control of that ball. And the inside pass from Sheffield dealt with, and look at that for commitment.
Scored the opening try of the game tonight, Danny Mills, when Sheffield went into the lead. And they had the game under control. They were playing it on their own terms. But it hasn't been really since that moment.
Good defence by Tangarapati, putting Patterson under pressure. But again, the outside backs from Halifax. They have been very good in this game.
This has virtually been Halifax's game since the 28th minute, in fact, when Sean Penkovic, with the conversion from Patterson, brought scores level, and Halifax haven't looked back since then.
Well, all Matt Callum would have wanted from his side is a reaction from last week when they were bounced by Featherstone at Featherstone, and he's definitely got that tonight. They've played some very good football, but they have been prepared to defend, and that is what they'll need to do next week in the grand final against Featherstone.
Wait.
Michaeli Azu plays the ball. Not surprisingly, the pace has dropped in this game. Holroyd's gone for a 40-20, has he? He might yet get it. No, Danny Mills there to field that ball. Wrench chasing him down, gets it away to Jamie Cottle, to Tim Bergen it is, and Cottle and Bergen and then collide with each other. but Bergin darting all over the place to try and get away from the chasers of Halifax.
Halifax now, they know this game's in the bag. It's a good shot by Cottle on his teammate Bergin. But they know now that they're in the final. They're all coming up with shots like that on Alex Rowe. He's still not giving it up.
Michaeli Azu it was with the tackle. Another one of the try scorers for Halifax this evening. Here's Trevor Exton. Really hasn't been able to get involved in the game, the PNG international Exton. Craig Cook. Ryan Hepworth.
It's not many times that you watch a game with Sheffield and you say that the forwards have been outplayed by the opposition, but they have been tonight.
Cook across the field, puts the kick in. Oh, it's into the arms of Warrensey, and you know what happened the last time he got the ball in open space. This time they're wise to that, and Cook with the Henderson it was with a follow-up tackle.
Henderson was skirting across the defensive line. He wanted a runner, and all his support runners were just outside, too wide for a pass. He decides for the kick, and Warrensey just gobbles it up.
Maloney takes the tackle into the last 5 minutes here then, and Halifax in control and looking forward to a trip to the Halliwell-Jones Stadium next weekend to face Featherstone Rovers in the grand final. It's going to be a busy week for the office staff here at Halifax. Having to sit and wait and just find out what the future held for them. Well, now they know.
Come on, mate. Go.
And the grand finals day, 3 finals of course on grand finals day, 2 of them on Sky Sports, Championship 1 and the Championship. We're on air from 3 o'clock on Sunday the 26th. The chip kick ahead, and Royston kicks it ahead. Mills gathers it up. Well, he's closed down.
Yeah, it's back to 1 now for Sheffield. Well, how can they finish now? Just over 3 minutes to go. You can see not many of the players pushing forward.
Here is Alex Rowe. He's pushing forward. Gets the ball away to Cook. Cook over the top to Tanguy Rapati. And Sheffield maybe have the last word in this game. And Tanguy Rapati, the try scorer, his 15th of the season. Again, Alex Rowe with the commitment to set things up there.
Well, he's probably been Sheffield's best tonight. Mickey Ailey offloads the ball. Nice short pass. Alex Rowe, show and go. He makes this ball available, throws the speculator to Cook, who just dinks it over the top to Rapati. Nice play. And Sheffield's season, you wouldn't like it to come out and fizzle out with a whimper. Good victories against Lee, against Barrow, and could they have scored the last try of the night tonight?
Did you spit your teeth out then?
They're screwed in my teeth. Not very well though.
Samoan international Tanguy Rapati then on the scoreboard. Irish international Tim Bergin looking to get his name on the scoreboard this evening with the conversion attempts, and it looks as though that one's wide of the target. 42 points to 16. The scoreline here at the Shea. No consolation that for Mark Aston and his coaching team. Managing a smile, a rueful smile at that. Such hopes going into this game, such momentum. You wonder though whether, you know, they played big games at Lee to get into the playoffs, then they had to win at Lee again to stay alive. They had to win at Barrow to stay alive. It's got to, as we see in Super League, it's got to take it out of them.
Well, one thing that they were, Bill, they were battle hard and coming up with them 2 big results, beating Lee by 2 points, then by 1 point, and then the big game against Barrow last week to get here and play against Halifax. But Halifax, there had to be, as I said before, there had to be a reaction. Unfortunately for Sheffield, it was tonight.
Coming up to the last minute then. And Halifax just watching the clock count down before they start planning for a second successive grand final appearance. And they've done it on the back of a really disciplined performance, and there's been a criticism of Halifax this season. It has been that sometimes they're a bit erratic, discipline's erratic. handling's erratic, but there's been precious little of that this evening. Menzi Yeri now. Yeri fancies getting a try, but he's lost the ball, and the referee says play on.
Play on,
he
Sheffield's
says.
ball. Menzi Yeri tried to offload it to Danny Mills. Danny Mills had gone inside looking for the inside pass. Does
Now
Brendan Lindsay get his last try?
Is Lindsay going to round off his Eagles career with a bit of glory? He's in touch, no, says the referee. Worth a try.
Well, Brendan Lindsay having a bit of fun. He's absolutely...
Come on!
Hang on a minute.
He has been... The whistle, the hooter has gone, the whistle has sounded, but controversy at the end, because Brendan Lindsay, I reckon, has been diddled out of a try on his farewell appearance. It doesn't count. It counts to Brendan Lindsay, though. When he sees that, he's going to say, why didn't you go to the video ref? But the fact is that Halifax are celebrating an emphatic victory, one that takes them through to the grand final Sunday week against Featherstone Rovers at the Hallowell-Jones Stadium in Warrington, and a chance to make amends for last year's disappointment, to tick the box they so desperately want to tick. Sheffield Eagles hoping that they'll get a chance maybe further down the track. This wasn't to be their season. They struggled into the playoffs. They gamely got through to this stage with those wins at Lee and Barrow, but they've come up against a determined Halifax side. The chips were down for Matt Callan's men, and they've answered the questions. They've answered the doubters as well.